Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm here in my Dungeons & Dragons adventuring gear because I'm going to ride out and do an adventure. Whether it's storming a castle, exploring a dungeon, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen out there in the wilderness? There's a piece of equipment that I used to swear by when I played D&D, and ironically, it has application in everyday life that I'm actually going to start practicing what I used to preach. In D&D, you got your weapons, your shield, your armor, etc., etc., even your iron rations, everything I've done videos about already, but the one piece of equipment that I never left home without, and now I think I'm going to leave my real home in real life equipped with, is rope. There is no question about it. Rope is something I needed in D&D. There would always come up some situation where you gotta have a bundle of rope. You gotta throw the line down to help your buddy up out of a pit. You gotta tie up some prisoners or whomever, whatever you've got going on. You gotta hoist some of your cargo up onto a tree branch while you're sleeping so that the bad guys or the animals won't take away your food, your supplies. Rope is really handy in Dungeons & Dragons. And of recent years, I have noticed this desire among fellows and ladies of the modern world to have something that they term, and I hate this phrase, but it's applicable here, everyday carry. There are a lot of people nowadays who are like, I gotta make sure in my everyday carry, I've got a screwdriver and a knife and a flashlight and all this kind of stuff. And I used to think, oh God, I don't like that term. And it's silly. But it was one couple of videos that I saw of that sort of genre that I just thought, you know what? In Dungeons & Dragons, that's actually very true. You need rope. So I actually got myself some rope. How the heck am I going to carry around a big bundle of hemp with me everywhere I go? No. This is the 21st century, my friend. We don't bother with old bundles of coiled up hemp ropes anymore. I got paracord, which is the modern equivalent. This is super strong, super thin, wiry type of rope. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to see if maybe having rope on me is actually as useful in real life as these everyday carry types are always talking about. You know, in D&D, I would always say, you gotta have some rope. You need some rope. We gotta make sure we're carrying rope. Well, let's try carrying some. And ironically, there was a movie reference that included the same terminology, the same philosophy. Anybody remember Boondock Saints? Came out 20 odd years ago, and Willem Dafoe was in it and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple of Irish gangster type thief fellows who are gonna pull a heist. There is a really good scene that I'll never forget when I watched it, where the two of them are gathering up their equipment, they're getting their guns and their knives and stuff like that, and one of the brothers is like, we need some rope. And his other brother is like, what are you, crazy? What the heck do you need rope for? He's like, no, you always see them in the movies. They always need rope. We should bring some rope. And it ends up being very useful in the movie for them. I agree. The Dungeons & Dragons player in me completely agrees with Boondock Saints. You need rope. So I'm going to actually start carrying some just to see, am I right? Was my old D&D philosophy correct? Is Boondock Saints correct? Who knows? Now, am I going to be carrying this admittedly very small container with me everywhere I go? No. Am I going to coil it around my belt, kind of like a D&D adventurer? Sort of. I found a really good video online of somebody who... There are people who sort of string up paracord in interesting ways. They make like braided bracelet type things or little carabiner holders on their belt or whatever that has this paracord all wound up in a weird lattice-like structure so you could easily pull it free and use it. And I was going to get one of those, and I just thought, no, I don't think so. That's not really going to work. Until I found a pattern of how to loop it around your belt, and it's going to be not too conspicuous, not too in the way. I hope. We'll find out. So, I'm going to tie some paracord to my belt, according to this design, And then I'm going to see, yeah, is it true? Do I need rope? Let's find out. All right, let's give this a try. I got my belt standing by. I've got my paracord here, and it's a nice Dungeons & Dragons hemp rope color. I'm going to be following this pattern here, this quick release spinal column kind of design. It looks pretty close to what I think will work for me. This is from the YouTube channel Weavers of Eternity Paracord, and it's a pretty good design, so that's what we're going to be following along with. Let's actually have a look at the paracord itself. There we go. Pull it out. How tough is this? Oh yeah, that's pretty strong. The reason I decided to go with this, all these everyday carry guys are always talking about how this stuff is super durable, super strong, very light, and very thin. So I guess this is modern D&D rope all figured out here. So, essentially, I'm going to just take a length of this and follow the Eternity video here and attach it to my belt in an appropriate spot. And we'll just see, how is this quick release that they promise? So there you can see the end result of what we're aiming at here. Basically, it's a quick release paracord handle wrap, where you just pull one string and it all comes loose, and then I've got my rope ready to deploy. Okay, so now that's where we end up with. I've got my paracord standing by. I'll probably be cutting a length of this off, I'm sure. Okay, so apparently I want to go twice in a circle, and then through to make the end knot. Gotcha. Okay, so we have pinched up a little knot like himself. Then we're going to set that on the belt. Ooh, and we're going to loop it, I think, quite a distance. Okay, so now I'm going to roughly follow him. I got the rope underneath, paracord, so it goes over, and then what do? You loop it. How do you do this? Oh, okay, you want to loop it that way, keeping that way there. And then, not so fast, man, not so fast. And then you want to go down. Okay, that kind of design. I gotcha. And then this goes back down and around the top, and then around, and then repeat. Okay, he's definitely going too fast now. But basically, the premise is that stays in the center there, and we go up, and we go over, and we go down, keeping this guy as our kind of plumb line. And then down and around, and then from the top, and then we circle, and it goes right back behind the belt again, and then we do it again from down below, and we repeat. I mean, mine's not as clean as his, but that's pretty good for a first attempt. What do you think? Hey, I got a rope! Well, not too bad for the final part, I would say. Pretty good for my first attempt. Now, he says here, you take the last piece. Now, I'm not going to cut this just yet, but you would loop that into here. Okay, I'm going to just modify it. So he's actually got, this is an end piece with another little knot on it. I'm not sure the full length I want yet, so I'm just going to try this out. But then he says, you tighten that down. That keeps the whole thing pretty secure. You can tuck that up in there. Again, ignore this. This would actually be another knot on the other end. Okay, and then when you need your rope, what do? You would pull out the knot on this side, and then you would grab this thing and pull. Yeah! Oh, that would work! That would work! Rope deployed! Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna find a good length here, and I'm gonna try this out for real. All right, I've got rope ready to deploy on my belt. Now I made a particularly long loop of it here just to see like when does it get too ungainly. I have a feeling I will typically use this on a real pair of pants in a real scenario between two belt loops, so probably half this length. But I just want to see how easy is it to deploy when you're in an adventure. If you're out on the street and somebody needs something wrapped up, or you need to pull something for somebody, whatever. How easy is it to get the rope out? Let's give it a try. So I think I gotta unhook this thing back here, which is not too easy. All right, so I did make a little end knot, and I just used a bit of like a match to make that. Okay, well that has come loose. Now I grab the other end, and then with a pull of this end of the rope, theoretically, I have got rope. That's awesome! Look at that! What is that? That's gotta be over 10, 15 feet worth of rope right there. Incredible on that little stretch. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I've got rope. All right, so from now on, a smaller length of this is gonna go on my belt, so probably back here out of the way, but deployable if I need to suddenly get rope, like in a typical Dungeons and Dragons adventure. That's so good. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. All right, well, until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole, and don't worry, I'll be carrying rope.